Today is going to be a very important day in the history of U.S. crypto. Crypto czar David Sachs is holding a very important digital asset conference at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time to discuss the U.S. digital asset strategy. Meanwhile, crypto whales have been heavily buying two altcoins, and I have strong reasons to believe that these are going to be the top two altcoins of the alt season. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, altcoinbuzz.io, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Alright guys, it has been a rough weekend and start to the week. Bitcoin has made a slight comeback. We sold off to around just under $92,000, and now we're actually holding above the midline here around $99,000. We are holding above it currently, so this does look decent for the current time, but there are a lot of issues and a lot of kind of fears around tariffs. We have Canada and Mexico who came out and said, hey, we're going to pause the tariffs because we're talking with Trump. So they're putting on pause for a month to talk about tariffs. But then we have China coming out saying, hey, we're going to actually put tariffs on you guys now. And so the market kind of sold off again a little bit last night, or sorry, in the past like couple hours. So we'll have to see what happens. The market's not really sure what to do right now. A lot of kind of like unknowns, and the market really hates unknowns. And so because there's so much uncertainty, the price doesn't really know where to go right now. Unfortunately, we are making a bit of lower highs here, which doesn't look the best. But I will say if we can break above like this key level here, which is around 101,000, if we can break above here and then continue higher, we will look decent, and that'll be a start. But it's not looking the best right now. But there are opportunities in the market, like we said in the video yesterday. Even though Bitcoin has sold off, it's not just sitting down here. It's actually had a decent buyback, which means it's a good time to buy altcoins for an altcoin season does come, which we're going to get to today. Then we have Axel Adler, who says for the 7th time this year, the Bitcoin funding rate has turned negative in all 6 previous instances, signaling the bullish momentum. So funding, in a bull market is usually pretty high. It's pretty positive, and so everyone wants to long, so you have to pay funding. But now it's actually negative, so they're paying you to go long on Bitcoin right now. That's how much we sold off yesterday. And then we have this famous video from Senator Cynthia Lummis talking about Bitcoin and China and Russia.
Wouldn't it be fun if the U.S. is buying Bitcoin and it scares China and Russia so they start buying Bitcoin, and we have an arms race over Bitcoin instead of over weapons?
And then recently today, Cynthia Lummis said this is a big deal, the Bitcoin sign for the B, responding to President Trump signing an executive order calling for the creation of a sovereign wealth fund, which is huge. And it's also a little bit different from a Bitcoin strategic reserve. It's actually, a fund that would actually grow assets, not just store them. So this is also potentially very big for Bitcoin as well in the US. And then we have Bitcoin News saying the race to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve has gone global. And we can see the different stages here for all these different countries, and El Salvador being the farthest, which already has the Bitcoin acquired for reserves. We can see here the United States is currently at the legislative process and is currently going towards the law or policy enacted. But we have other countries like Brazil, who's getting pretty far in there as well. We have Argentina, who wants to do it, Chile, Czech Republic, Germany, Hong Kong, Japan, Poland, Russia, and Switzerland. Switzerland, who's also, kind of right there with along Brazil and United States. So as soon as Bitcoin becomes a strategic reserve in the United States, I think a lot will follow very quickly as well. Then we also have today, cryptocurrency czar David Sachs is planning to discuss U.S. crypto leadership. So today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which will be a couple hours after this, he's going to come out and talk about his digital asset strategy for the United States. And so the event will reportedly focus on how the Trump administration and Congress plan to establish the United States as a leader in the digital asset sector. According to the announcement, Sachs is expected to detail the White House's strategic approach to digital assets, which may include regulatory policies, innovative incentives, and national security considerations. The event underscores the administration's effort to engage with lawmakers in shaping cryptocurrency and blockchain-related policies. So that will happen today. That actually might send crypto, much higher if it is a good policy, if they start to come out. Maybe they say Bitcoin strategic reserve, or they say, hey, there's going to be no taxes on U.S. Cryptocurrencies, like we've been talking about, where we have HBAR, XRP, these other Solana, and these US, made in USA coins. That might be something that they talk about as well. And speaking of HBAR, smart money is deploying onto HBAR. There's $1.2 million worth of HBAR buy orders from 21.5 down to 20.5 on Coinbase alone. Hedera has been doing huge things from the bear market to even now, and I don't think we're stopping anytime soon. And then also interesting to see HBAR mentioned in this IMF tokenization document. They recognize Hedera's tokenization framework and definitions, and as we know, Hedera has been huge in the world of institutional tokenization, largely via Archax. BlackRock, State Street, Fidelity, the IMF clearly sees this and recognizes it. So that's big for HBAR as well. And then we also have breaking news. The Australian stablecoin AUDD is launching on Hedera's HBAR network in Q3 of 2025. They're also testing Ripple's XRP-enabled ODL for cross-border transactions. So another big thing for HBAR. And then also, BlackRock is tokenizing U.S. Treasuries on Hedera's HBAR. Here's a reminder that 32 of the most prominent organizations in the world unite to build on and govern a network, the HBAR Foundation. Big names include Google, IBM, Boeing, and several other multi-billion-dollar corporations. Then we have ONDO, which is another big one whales are accumulating and also tied to BlackRock as well. So ONDO is opening the floodgates to trillions, top 10 coin this cycle. And for a while, there's been rumors of a Binance listing as Binance is accumulating a ton of ONDO, and rumors suggest they will list after the summit, which is on February 6th, which is in 2 days from now. So after the summit, usually there's a sell-off into the summit and big news like that, kind of in-person events. There's a sell-off on the summit day or like right before, but maybe they're trying to make it so that there's not a sell-off and they do a Binance listing afterwards so then it doesn't, sell off into the event, which typically happens. And ONDO is also bridging Web2 TradFi and Web3 DeFi. The rails are real-world assets. The bridge's foundation is none other than ONDO. Seedworld is where gaming and user-generated content meet. Seedworld's native S-World token had its TGE in late October, and we know some of you took part in this. And since then, the price has increased by 20% so far. It's had a great ROI so far, especially compared to other games and the rest of the market. Plus, its new Vanguard NFT collection for the game just launched this week. So let's see what else is new with Seedworld. The first main game in Seedworld is Beyond the Keep. You can see the game footage playing and see how good it looks. You can build out part of the game yourself, and others get to play in the section you created. It's the ultimate in community-based gaming. This is some of the best game footage we've seen anywhere from Web3 games, and you still have a chance to claim lands and tokens by staking S-World or buying a seed root and preparing for the full game launch of Beyond the Keep. Those who have tried are excited by the combo of great game footage, NFTs, in-game currency, and a potentially thriving game economy. And the team also has an update on the seed roots. Phase 1 is ready to kick off, and those earning S-World in your seed root NFTs will continue to do so. If you like what you've seen and you want to know how to get and stake the S-World token, the easiest places to get it are on top dexes like Trader Joe, PancakeSwap, Aerodrome on Base, and Uniswap. And once you do, you can stake in 90-day increments from 90 days up to 360 days and earn up to 10% on your S-World tokens. So check it out, link down below. Then moving on to Ethereum, which sold off very hard, more so than really anything else the other day. And Ted says, I think something really big and special is going to happen with Ethereum. Eric Trump tweeted about Ethereum, and look at the wallet of Trump. Please teleport ETH to 5,000 and afterwards 10,000. So the World Liberty Finance is buying a lot of ETH. Eric Trump also said, in my opinion, it's a great time to add ETH. And LA Charts said whales bought over 100,000 ETH during this recent price dip. And we can see Look on Chain says Trump's World Liberty Finance bought another 1,826 ETH worth $5 million today. World Liberty has bought a total of 61,114 ETH for $205 million at an average price of $3,354 with a loss of $31 million. So they're definitely DCAing down on ETH. This sell-off was really ugly because it just went to the bottom. It took out all these wicks down below here, which usually does happen when there's a buildup of like these lows here on these high time frames like the daily chart. When there's a buildup of lows, there's a lot of stops below these. So the fact that it came down here, took out all these wicks, a lot of people got liquidated. It's been a very hard bull market so far, but it did bounce. It went from $2,100 all the way up to like around $2,800 right now. It will have to get back above this level for it to be very bullish. This is a key level here you can see. So it'll have to get back above this to really, start to take off, and we're kind of like holding below, which is not ideal. But really, for more recent price terms, we want to get back above this level around $3,000. That's a more key level, and I'll feel a lot more confident if we can get back above that level right now. And moving on, we have an introduction to KOLs. So imagine if you could always access the thoughts, knowledge, and strategies of your biggest Web3 influencer. Picture a crypto version of Taylor Swift available 24/7 to answer your questions and share expert advice. And a new platform is making that a reality. KOLs is a new platform that gives you 24/7 access to the top minds in Web3 without restriction. The process is simple. The KOLs platform provides access to AI-powered digital replicas of your favorite influencer. You can access their strategies, alpha, and any knowledge. The influencers use social media platforms like X to interact with their followers. However, there's limited personal one-to-one rapport on these platforms. This means you can't always secure real-time access to these influencers, and KOLs is bridging the gap between you and your favorite influencer. They're bringing these key opinion leaders, or KOLs, closer than they've ever been. Now, why does this matter? Well, knowledge plays a key role in any industry, such as ours, where speed is an asset. Imagine if you can consult with your top influencer in real time before purchasing a token. Think of securing their thoughts on a specific trend. So how does it work? Well, KOLs leverages Sensei's advanced AI technology to create digital replicas of influencers. Sensei is one of the leading projects, which we've talked about before, developing AI-powered replicas. Their AI tech is super useful in healthcare. Now, KOLs uses Sensei's powerful AI technology to create these virtual replicas. These replicas capture the influencer's knowledge, personality, and experience, and this gives room for real-time conversations with subscribers. The KOLs platform presents a win-win situation for both influencers and their followers. It creates a new source of income for influencers. Additionally, it gives followers access to exclusive knowledge and strategies. KOLs plans to onboard more high-profile influencers and integrate payment gateways, and the project is a good choice for those interested in the AI wave. It also provides a good way for Web3 influencers and followers to make some extra cash. So that is the new KOLs platform, which is working with Sensei, which we've talked about before, which you can also check out, linked down below. And the last altcoin we're looking at today is Hype and how it keeps outperforming. So Nick shares this thread saying, despite the bloodbath, Hyperliquid has held up well. What's causing this, and can it maintain its strength? Let's take a quick dive. So he shares that high fee revenue and buybacks. So Hyperliquid's fee generation is massive, capturing over 50% of the DEX perps market revenue. Recent data shows Hyperliquid's processing $1.93 million in daily fees, even surpassing Ethereum's daily fees at $1.82 million on January 28th. Importantly, Hyperliquid uses 54% of trading fees to buy back and burn the Hype token, making it deflationary. These buybacks create constant demand and reduce circulating supply, which can help stabilize or boost Hype's price. The market is also backed by strong bids. Retail, whales, and institutions are buying the dips. For example, Amber Group spent $7.2 million on Hype at $21 in January, growing their stake to about 730,000 tokens, or about $16 million. And last but not least, the community. It can make or break a project, and the Hype community is a killer. Social media engagement and mindshare seem married to price action, as you can easily see here. Even as the broader sentiment dipped, Hype social metrics coincided with the price rally back above $25. And Tobias says Hyperliquid's assistance fund collects $30,000 per 10 minutes. That's only part of the fees Hyperliquid makes. Hyperliquid is a cash cow. And OKX Venture says Hyperliquid has been the #1 trading volume on perp dexes over the past 3 months and holds 58.5% of their market share. Today, Hyperliquid surpasses Ethereum in both 24-hour fees and revenue. And lastly, Miles Deutscher says Hyperliquid users plus trades continue to go parabolic. It's a great example of a project that's found strong product market fit. So Hyperliquid users are going up, cumulative trades are going up, and hopefully price continues to go up when the market rebounds. Right now, we are sitting just above $99,000, depending on how the the kind of cryptos are. Talks about crypto later today, what his plans are, if there's anything of real note, or if it's just kind of a nothing burger kind of conference. We'll have to see, but that might affect the price enough to go up today. But if it doesn't, we'll have to see. We might just continue chopping around here for a little bit more before we eventually have that, that sacred alt season in February, and which is historically one of the best times for altcoins. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you guys are surviving out there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.